some more mainstream animes that do it better, but when you start getting into certain, like, I mean, I cringe at stuff like the Clan dub just because it's like,
well, because it's a small company.
Yeah, it's
you
not
really
gonna
have
be
limited. It's limited resources when we record differently. Actors in America record by themselves.
Yeah.
You have your stuff, and you're supposed to watch and match your dialogue to the class to get the timing right while you're in the studio and reading your lines. Versus in Japan, where you have a group of them that work together, and they do an entire scene all together.
Yeah, I've heard about
So
that.
the lines are a lot more natural, and they're not focused on doing mouth flaps because being the company that's also part of the original animation process, they don't have to worry as much about matching that timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't they animate it like after they?
They animate it once most of the dialogue is completed.
Well, if I could throw a monkey wrench into this, remember all anime technically is dubbed, because obviously cartoons don't actually have their own original voice. So I guess it's more of a debate of English or Japanese dubs. Well, one thing to ponder over is that, of course, there are some actual English dubs that the Japanese creators liked a lot better than their own Japanese. However, on the other hand, on the flip side, there's also the issue of you watching anime, not only for the story, but mostly for the style of artwork that is. And if you're reading subtitles at the bottom of the screen, it takes the attention away from the artwork. So
It's something you get used to, though.
Yeah, I know.
Like I can read the dialogue faster than they speak it on the sub, and then watch the rest of it. You know, it's something that you develop after a long time, because I've been watching subs since I was in 8th grade, and I'm a sophomore in college now.
Me too.
So it's really it's habit for me. So
I can't do that. I gotta pause it.
See,
read the thing.
and that's a legit excuse though, where if your brain is mismatching symbols and flipping them around, so it makes it difficult to read it.
If you're dyslexic, you're reading it backwards. I actually watch both myself, to tell the truth.
Well, it's also like it's an adjustment thing. Like she said, I've been doing this for a while too, and I kind of vibing on what she's saying in the sense that you get used to reading the subs at the bottom and different stuff. But like you look at my parents with older movies. If you've looked at, I can't remember the name of the movies, but it's more of a historical movie, but about half of it's in Japanese because it has to do with like World War II, whatever. Well, they were having the hardest time reading the subs at the bottom. Like they were getting distracted, and I was just sitting there going, like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Because I'm a nerd and I watch anime all the time, and I find it really fun.
Yeah, it helps to be an anime fan if you're a geek.
Well, and I primarily watch subs just because American companies move too slow on releases.
Oh yeah.
We move way too slow. Like I've been keeping up. Like I haven't finished all the series I followed from summer season, but I'm already starting the fall winter season and watching the first few episodes of that's being released in Japan. And we are just now getting titles that were released 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
we move too slow. Like Gainax, do you guys watch Hokago no Playdays? Gainax collaborated with Subaru and created I think it's a 6-part OVA that they broadcasted online with subs. Gainax did that. And I think if companies take advantage of that, like Utano Prince Sama and a couple other series for the fall season are being broadcast on Nico Beta English for the fall season for free. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're raw, but you still get it right there.
Yeah.
And if we take that step to move faster, then they won't have to compete as much.
Well, then you're talking economy based, because then eventually, if this were to become a big enough market in America, like if a lot of the American industries were to see this and recognize this, and so like, okay, we can make money off of this. People are really looking for this. Then you're talking about eventually getting it to where you could have a slightly alternative animation and get dubs out pretty much with the subs. And so if people wanted to watch dubs, they'd get it within a week or within, almost within the same air date. You get your whole package, your subs and your dubs, everything you could possibly think of shipped to America within the week of the release.
But if you look at the release of Gurren Lagann though, like you got all 4 volumes of the sub within a really short time frame of like a few months.
Yeah.
And then you had to wait another half a year to get the dub. And I think part of that is just because of the editing process and recording and putting everything together for our releases with dubs on them.
Well, if you look at it, America's been a country of cowboys in a sense.
market for that sort of thing?
No, there isn't.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's not
It's
really a
hard
heavy
market.
anime market.
Like
The
Sego
market
Kubasara
is
like 25.
children. You know, back when
Well, like,
my dad was in the Air Force and I was I was watching Pokemon and this
Yeah, well,
and
that's what most people think when they think of anime is like 2-3 generations back. The common misconception is it's either Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z and
Or
hentai.
Yeah, I was a kid when I was watching
It's-
Sailor
Yeah,
Moon.
well, and I've heard another conception that people think of hentai.
Actually, let me go ahead, since we're kind of going off on a different subject, let me go ahead and reset the subject here.
deep here for subs and dubs.
Well, the thing is, we're going into subjects I was planning to cover later on, too.
Okay.
So I just want to keep it kind of streamlined. So since we're going off on, let's see, I'm trying to think of where I should go next from here. Sub versus dub was kind of a warm-up thing. So,
Right here now.
was there anyone who didn't get a chance to weigh in, or? Okay. Hey, then moving on, I think one of the things moving on, one of the things that was brought up was pretty much the economy factor and things in regards to the Japanese and American economy and the fan base in Japan versus America. And a lot of this probably won't be a one side or the other thing, this would be something anyone could weigh in on. And something we were pretty much already on the same track for. But does anyone want to give their thoughts on the way the economy is going in Japan versus America in regards to anime and manga? Start from
Well, the thing is, though, is how familiar are we? Like, I know that the Japanese economy isn't exactly in the best state from the tsunami back in March.
Yeah.
And they've been really promoting tourism to try to get people to come and support their economy. But other than
Well, I
that,
mean, the
it's
economy in
really
general, even before the tsunami.
Are you talking about the base economy, or are you talking that in reference to anime manga, specifically that genre?
I would think more like anime and manga, specifically that.
well, it's even a niche market over there too.
Yeah.
They even have Akihabara, which I kid not, you can go in a complete circle, there's like 100 different shops that you can go to.
So it's pretty, it's a niche market, but it's pretty hefty there.
Well,
Not
it's
necessarily.
like
Well, it's pretty hefty amongst the fans.
Right, you're gonna get a lot of people over there that don't like anime because it's in comparison like our cartoons on TV.
Yeah.
It's just as much, that is obviously gonna be bigger. Just like we have bigger markets for things like Ben 10 and Transformers cartoons and stuff like that over here. But it's still pretty niche.
It's also
Yeah.
one of the things though where you see it everywhere. I mean, like I was there last summer and like on their airplanes they would have Gundams painted on them, or they would have a Pikachu airplane, and it's like it becomes like less of like I agree with what Celia said about like it's comparable to our cartoons. At the same time, it's if you go to like a Japanese city, you're gonna have more places to buy anime and manga than we have here. So it's like you can maybe get it around 2 stores around here in Spokane, but there you're gonna have multiple, just even down the street, like multiple.
yeah, it's like our Marvel and DC comics that we have here.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger here, but
Yeah,
it's still a niche. It's not.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
kind
like
of how I
the-
look at it too.
Back in the day, it wasn't.
Well, like in the
my
examples
dad,
that you gave,
my
Gundam
mom,
and
our
Pokemon
kids,
are like huge
they go
franchises
buy
that have
a
been
comic
going
book for a
forever.
nickel,
Right,
and then,
right.
stacks this big.
Yeah, because I do see it as a niche as well over there, but it's, I mean, you could
It's
find.
more like comic
you could
books here.
find- Yeah, I mean, you could find, but it is nothing compared to here, I think, because you could find a million doujinshi of anything there, drawn by some random guy of his favorite series. You can't find people who are that enthusiastic about it here. You've got shops everywhere for it. I mean, there's still gonna
Not
be.
for Dojin. That's only gonna be in Akihabara and at the comic markets.
Yeah, those are usually fan based.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm saying you'd have to have a fan base for such a thing to exist, and that's mostly in Japan.
I
But we
agree.
get
I was
Dojin.
in Japan last year for the con, and I was talking to one of the girls, 'cause we have host girls kind of. We're not staying with them, they're kind of